During high school, I was in love with a girl for 2 years. If you don't click off of this video, then you're training yourself from a spiritual perspective, you're training yourself from a mental health perspective, because you are not resisting a certain feeling that is bugging you. So the longer you're able to watch this video, the more you're gonna benefit yourself and the more you're gonna practice this stuff. During high school, I was in love with a girl for 2 years. And in December 2020, I confessed to her and she told me that she didn't have any feelings for me. Now, you might think that the suffering came after she said that. But what I realized was that I had suffered so much that I had already freed myself from her attachment. So when she said that, nothing inside of me even stirred. It was just calm. It was just a sunny day, even though it rained and I was really cold that day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that was my first insight into non-resistance, which we're gonna talk about in a moment. A month later, January 2021, I hear the name Eckhart Tolle in a video that I was watching. I look the guy up, I start hearing his videos, and instantly I fall into a deep bliss just from the first video. And I believe it was very easy for me to understand what he was talking about because of that experience with the girl. And so I had woken up from a dream. I no longer identified with my thoughts. I no longer do. I no longer had a self, yeah, sure, I have a name. I have people perceive me in a certain way. I believe I perceive myself in a certain way, but that is no longer primary. That is not the sense of self. I don't have that sense of self anymore, hopefully. So after watching his videos, I started reading his books, The Power of Now and The New Earth. They're both profound, and there's a concept or three concepts that you need to know for good mental health. And that's the being side of things. There's also the doing, which is having a clean diet and having good health practices in general. Because remember, your body won't make you feel good unless everything is good. Okay, it's programmed to do that. It can't tell you that it's all right if you have a knife in your stomach. At the same time, it can't tell you that it's all right if your digestive system is messed up, if all your liver cells are dead, if you've got pollution in your brain. It won't let you experience life nicely if that's the case. You have to fix those things to feel better. So that's the doing side of things. Here's the being. Okay, let's begin with a story that Eckhart Tolle always tells. Now, there's a monk in Japan, and he lives in a village, and the villagers always go to him. He's well respected there. If you lived in that village and you went through a breakup, having a conversation with him would be a pretty good thing to do. He was that kind of guy. He helped everyone with spiritual manners. And you could consider him enlightened. Now, one day he gets accused of having slept with a girl, and he responds by saying, "Is that so?" And so the parents, the angry parents of that girl, say, "Okay, you slept with her, take the baby. It's not our responsibility to take care of it." He says, "Is that so?" And he takes care of the baby for 2 years. And then they come back and they say, "Oh, sorry, our daughter just said that she had slept with a butcher. She lied about having slept with you." And he says, "Is that so?" And they take the baby away. So after having taken care of a baby for, not a baby anymore, a child, for 2 years, he just says, "Is that so?" He doesn't resist anything that happens. He got accused, and the entire village didn't like him anymore. They thought he was a fraud. He didn't resist that. He didn't try to defend himself. He just didn't resist. They gave him a child. He didn't resist. He took care of it. They took the child away after him having taken care of the child for 2 years. He didn't resist that. That's the teaching. So if you crash your car, if you lose your phone, if whatever happens, don't resist that. Yeah, you can feel emotions, sure, but don't identify with the emotions. Now, the second teaching, which is absolutely fantastic in any situation, is non-judgment. And the story Eckhart Tolle always tells is there was a man who won a car, a super fast car, you know, one of those cars that you'd love to have. And his family said, "Oh, wow, that's a really good thing. You won a car. Congratulations." And he said, maybe. Then 2 weeks later, he crashed the car and broke both of his legs. And his family came to the hospital and said, "Oh, it's such a bad thing that you broke your legs." And he said, "Maybe." And then, because of a landslide, his entire house was crushed during the night that he was in the hospital. And his family came and told him that he's very lucky to have been in the hospital. He's very lucky to have crashed and not to have died. And again, he said, maybe. So in this story, the man is never judging what happens. And if you look at it from a broader perspective, the winning the car led to him breaking his legs, led to him surviving, and then we don't know what happens. And so in many situations in your daily life, you don't really know what's gonna happen. You don't know if something is good or bad. You can't know. It is impossible to judge a situation correctly. Even though, if someone punches you in the face, you still don't know if that's good or bad. You honestly don't know if that's good or bad. So don't judge anything and you'll be fine. And then the last teaching is non-attachment. So we're attached to many things. If you're addicted, you're attached to a certain thing that has become a habit. You're attached to other people, you're attached to your thoughts, you're attached to a certain image of yourself. Not being attached means that you accept not experiencing anything. So, as an example, if there is a concert, you're not attached to the image of the concert, of going to the concert. The moment you're in right now, so maybe sitting on the couch, is as profound as being at that concert. You're not attached to experience, so to speak. And if you're not attached to experience, you won't look forward to anything and you won't see anything as bad. And that means that every moment that you live is as profound as the next. So now you know, non-resistance, non-judgment, non-attachment. Write them down somewhere so that you remember them, because if you do remember them, you can call upon them in any situation, and you'll immediately have more wisdom to deal with that situation, especially from a suffering perspective. You won't have to suffer that much. So don't resist anything, don't judge anything, and don't be attached to anything, and you'll be fine. I want you to continue this journey. I'd be happy if you did it, because this is probably the most important thing in life, because it is life itself. You are not separate from life, as Eckhart Tolle says. You are life. There's no my life, there is just life, and that is you. I want you to continue on this journey, and the way you do that is by reading The Power of Now if you already haven't. And after that, only after that, okay, you can skip this point, but the most important part is reading The Power of Now. Then you need to watch a video by Frank Young on YouTube that he uploaded a few days ago, actually, which I watched yesterday, and it is profound. It is absolutely profound. It taught me things that I haven't even noticed before. He says that there are different stages. I just told you how to go from ego to understanding that you're the one who is aware of what's happening. Well, he goes beyond that. So, watch that video, read the book, and with that said, go and achieve excellent health. I know you can do it.